Stop paying your internet service provider every month just so you can use their modem and router. In this episode from Network from Home, I'm going to show you how to replace your internet service provider's modem and router with your very own devices. And before you get overwhelmed, no technical experience is needed, and I'm going to walk through these steps one at a time. All right, let's take it from the top in terms of what you need to replace your internet service provider's modem and router. First of all, we're assuming here that your internet service provider's device is active in your home network. You'll need to have that on hand because you're going to be making changes and replacing it. Additionally, you will need the modem and router that you purchased to replace your internet service provider's device. This can be a standalone modem and a standalone router like I have here, or it can be a modem router combination device, which basically just combines these two devices together. And you'll only have one device to set up, similar to what your internet service provider provides you when you're renting their equipment. If you're setting up a standalone modem and a standalone router, you'll also need an Ethernet cable to connect those two devices together. You will also need a mobile device, preferably a cell phone, so that way you can activate your new device. And then this is optional, it's not mandatory. It helps to have a laptop on hand, just so when you're ready to set up your router, you can walk through the setup process through your laptop. Once you have all those things on hand, we can start the process of replacing your internet service provider's equipment. So the first thing we need to do here, we need to remove the power from our internet service provider's equipment. There's a power cable in the back. You can just disconnect that. This will turn off your device, and then there will be a coaxial cable connected to the back of your internet service provider's equipment. We want to disconnect that as well, so just unscrew this. Once you unplug everything from this device, you're going to want to keep this power cord and the modem and router handy. That's because in order to save money, you need to return these devices to your internet service provider so they stop charging you a monthly rental fee. This is a really important step, so you want to make sure you don't lose these devices. Once you have your internet service provider's equipment in a safe spot, what we can do is we can start setting up our modem. The first thing we need to do, we need to take that coaxial cable that was connected to the back of your internet service provider's device, and we want to connect it to the coaxial cable port on the back of our modem. So let's connect that now. You'll want to make sure you have a secure connection here, so make sure this is screwed on as far as it will go and that you didn't misthread the connection here. You want to make sure it's secure because this is what provides your device with its connection to the internet. Once that's in place, you want to take the power cord for your modem. You want to connect it to the back of your modem here. There should be only one port for the power cord. Connect that. And then you plug the other end into a power outlet, and this will power on your modem, and then we'll give it a few minutes to boot up. Once you plug in your modem, it'll go through the boot up process, so let's give it a few minutes here. Once all the lights on your modem stop blinking and changing colors, we're now ready to activate this device with our internet plan. You might have one of these lights orange, and that's because you don't have an active internet connection until you activate your modem as part of your internet plan. So in order to do that, what we need to do is your internet service provider will have an app that will allow you to activate your modem with your internet plan. I have Xfinity, but I'm going to show you what that looks like on my iPhone. So let's jump over there now. All right, here we are on my iPhone. My internet plan is with Xfinity, so I needed to download the Xfinity app. But just make sure you download the application that's associated with your internet service provider. Once you have that downloaded, you can go into the application. If it's your first time accessing the application, it will ask for your email address and password that's associated with your internet plan. So you'll need to enter that, and then it will take you to this homepage. Now, since you haven't activated your modem yet, chances are on this homepage, it will give you the option to set up your equipment. I've already activated my modem, but I'm going to walk through these steps with you just in case. So for me, in order to get to those steps, I need to go under Account. And then scrolling down here on this page, you have the option to set up equipment or devices. I'm setting up my own equipment, so that's what we want to select here. And now it's going to take us through the setup steps for setting up our own modem. So we select Get Started. Here it says we can scan the QR code on our device. So on my modem, I don't have a QR code, but on the bottom of the device, there's an informational sticker. So it will allow me to enter the identification number for this modem manually. So I'll show you what this looks like. Let's go to enter manually, enter the CM MAC address. And I'll show you a picture of what this looks like in the video, but that MAC address is listed here. It's a 12-character alphanumeric identifier, so I'm going to enter that into the application now. It's very important that you get this MAC address entered correctly because that's what identifies this modem as being associated with the internet plan that you're paying for. This is what will allow your modem to get an internet connection from your internet service provider because they're going to tie it to your internet account. Once that's entered, select next. Okay, this is a step we've already done because we've connected the coaxial cable to the back of our modem, so we'll hit next. Place your equipment where it provides better Wi-Fi. We'll skip this for now, hit next. Connect the coaxial cable, we've done that. Plug in the power cord, we've done that. Check to make sure your modem comes online and then continue. We've done that. All the lights on our modem are green, so we're good to go. Go to check connection, and then it will run through a troubleshooting for you to see if there are any issues with your internet connection. Once it's done checking your internet connection, it will reboot your modem for you. So you just want to wait until, again, these lights become steady state, and then we'll move to the next step. But for now, you can go to overview, and this will complete the activation. Once this modem is fully rebooted, your internet plan will be activated with your new modem, and then we can move on to the router setup. But let's wait for this modem to boot up completely, and then we'll do that. Once the modem has fully rebooted, we can now focus on our router. So your router is what allows all of the devices in your home network to share the internet connection that your modem is getting. So what we need to do is we need to connect these two devices together. But in order to do that, let's first remove the power from your modem. So unplug the power cable from the back of your modem. Your modem will turn off. And then what we can do is we can connect your modem and router with an Ethernet cable. To do that, we take one end of our Ethernet cable. There is one Ethernet port on the back of your modem. So you want to take your Ethernet cable and connect it there. And then on the back of your router, you'll see multiple Ethernet ports. So here we have 5 Ethernet ports. This blue one is labeled WAN or Internet. That's the one you want to connect the other end of the Ethernet cable to. So we want to take this, connect these two devices, and now that they're connected, what we want to do is take the power cord for your modem, and just your modem right now, and connect it to the back of the device, and wait for your modem to boot up before we move to the next step. Once your modem has rebooted, we can now take the power cable for your router, which is right here on the back of the device, similar to your modem. There is a connector for your power cable. You want to connect that here. And then you want to plug this other end into an outlet, and now we'll wait for your router to reboot. Similar to your modem, when it's rebooting, these status lights will go through a cycling process. They'll blink, turn different colors. Again, we want to wait until these all reach steady state before moving to the next step. Once your router has booted up and all these lights have reached steady state, we can now go through the setup process for your router. You might notice there's one orange light here. That's for the internet connection. This device doesn't have an internet connection yet because we haven't gone through the setup steps. In order to access the settings for this router, depending upon what device you have, you might have an application that walks you through the setup process. This device here, I'm going to show you on my laptop how you can access the settings and go through the setup process. What you need to do, again, similar to your modem, there's an informational sticker on the bottom of the device which will tell you the default Wi-Fi network name and password that this device is broadcasting. And in order to set up this device, that's what we have to do. We have to connect to this Wi-Fi network. Again, I'll show you a picture of what this sticker looks like, and then we're going to connect to that Wi-Fi network with my laptop, so let's do that now. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to go down here to the available Wi-Fi networks, available. And as you'll notice, these are the two default Wi-Fi networks that this router is currently broadcasting. We want to select one of these and connect to it, and it will ask us, when we select connect, it will ask us for the password. And this is information that is also listed on the informational sticker on the router itself. So what we want to do, we want to enter that here, 642247118, and go to next. And then we'll be connected to this Wi-Fi network. Once we're connected, it will say no internet secured, and that's okay because we haven't set up this device yet. The next step is to walk through the setup steps for your router, and then you'll get that internet connection. To access our router setup steps, what we want to do is we want to open up an internet browser, so I'll open Chrome. In order to find out where to go to access your router settings, that's also information that's listed on a sticker on the bottom of the device. What it says on my device is http tplink.wifi.net, so we'll enter that. This site doesn't support a secure connection. That's okay. Again, we don't have an internet connection, so that's why it's going to say that. So go continue to the site. Now what it's asking you to do is to select a password for your router settings. You want to make sure that this is a somewhat complex password that other people won't be able to guess, but also one that you won't forget as well. Again, this isn't your Wi-Fi network name password. This is the password to change your router settings, so it's pretty important. Once you have a password selected, go to Let's Get Started. And here we're going to walk through the setup steps for our router. So time zone, enter your time zone, then hit next. Connection type, we want to auto detect it. It looks like it detected dynamic IP, so that's okay. We'll select next. Use default MAC address, we'll select next with that. Personalize Wi-Fi settings. Now this is really important because this is the Wi-Fi networks that your router will be broadcasting once it completes the setup. So whatever you want your Wi-Fi network name and password to be, you want it to be something that you'll recognize, and a password, again, that's complex, but you won't forget it. So when you have friends come over, you can give them the password so they can access your Wi-Fi network. For me, I like to set up a separate 2G and 5G Wi-Fi network. So I'm going to disable Smart Connect and then set each band separately. So now I can select the two different Wi-Fi networks. So I can have a 2G one and a 5G one, but this is all personal preference. However you want to set it up is just fine. Once you have that set up how you want it, you select next. And now it's going to go through a reboot and setup process where your router is going to start broadcasting those Wi-Fi networks that you just determined. And during this setup here, it even says, enjoy network management at your fingertips with the Tether app. There's an application for TP-Link devices called the Tether app that you can use to manage your router and its settings. So that's an option as well, but I prefer to do it on this web console, and that way it's easier to show you as well. Once your router reboots with your new Wi-Fi settings, you're going to have to reconnect to the new Wi-Fi networks you selected. So here I'll select this, connect automatically, and I'll type in the password that I chose. And now that you've connected to that Wi-Fi network that you selected, you'll now have a connection to the internet via Wi-Fi through your laptop or whatever device you're using. You'll be taken to the settings homepage of your router, and you should be good to go. So now our router is up and running with our new internet connection. We have our own modem and our own router in place. We've successfully replaced our internet service provider's device, but before we can call victory, and again, this is something I touched upon earlier, you need to return the power cable and the equipment that you rented from your internet service provider. They're going to keep charging you until you return this, so it's better that you do this sooner rather than later. In the meantime, what you can do now that your modem and router are stood up and you've selected your Wi-Fi network is you can go and take all of your wireless devices and connect them to this new Wi-Fi network so they have an internet connection. Now, if you want to take your home network to the next level, I'll include some links to videos that I've previously made that will help you further secure your home network and optimize the performance of the modem and router that you just set up. I'd also love to see in the comments section if you thought this procedure was easier than you thought. It's really not that technical, so you shouldn't have any problems, but just let me know in the comments section. As always, thanks for checking out this episode from Network from Home, and we'll catch you on the next one.